Ciao a tutti e benvenuti al Tavolo Italian. This lesson's on the Italian indirect object pronouns. Just a quick few footnotes before we start. This lesson assumes that you know how to conjugate Italian verbs, understand subject and direct object pronouns currently. In addition, this is by no means a comprehensive study on Italian indirect objects, but it is a good start. More information is definitely available and always for free at iltavoloitaliano.com. This is one of those topics that has some of what may be first viewed as exceptions. I would encourage you to start trying to use what you learn here today, along with continuing to learn more on this topic. Pronto? Okay then, let's get started. What is an indirect object pronoun? Well, to answer that question, let's first look at indirect objects in a sentence. We know that a verb represents an action or some type of state of being. We also know that the subject is the doer of that action or the one being something. As a result, the subject pronouns are a type of subject. They are the subjects where one word, the pronoun, has been used in place of a noun, a person, place, or thing. The direct object is the direct recipient of the verb and can be identified by asking who or what. In contrast, an indirect object receives the action of a verb indirectly through a preposition and can be identified by asking the question to or for whom or to or for what. Here are a few examples for the sake of clarity and having a visible subject in a sentence. I'm also including subject pronouns. Io scrivo a Pietro. I write to Peter. To or for whom or to or for what do I write? Peter, to Peter. Peter is the indirect object. Tu compri un regalo per tuo papà. Buy a gift for your dad. Okay, once again, to who, to or for whom, or to or for what do you buy? Well, you buy for dad. Now you buy the gift. The gift is the direct object. But you're buying it for dad. That is the indirect object. Another one. Lui dà il libro a Maria. Scusi. He gives the book to Maria. Okay, the book is the direct object. To Maria, the indirect object. Simply by answering to or for whom or to or for what. Now all we have to do is replace the indirect object nouns with indirect object pronouns and look at how to use them. This chart shows the basic indirect object pronouns. We'll be looking at the weak form, the strong form, and the English equivalent. First we have me, the weak form. A or per me is a strong form. And in English it would be to or for me. Ti, a or per te is to or for you. Li, lei, or lei is a or per lui, lei, or lei, and that's to or for him, her, or it. Ci, a or per noi is to or for us. Vi or a or per voi is to or for you all. And li is a or per loro or loro, to or for them. Okay, the weak form of the indirect object pronoun is usually found in one of three places. First, it is found just before the conjugated verb. Secondly, it is found attached to the end of an infinitive verb. And third, it is attached to the end of a conjugated verb in certain instances. In short, the placement is much like that of the weak form of the direct object pronoun. We will start by looking at it appearing just before the verb. Io scrivo a Pietro. I write to Peter. Or we could say, Li scrivo. I write to him. Sorry about that, there should be a V there. Li scrivo. I write to him. Tu compri un regalo per tuo papà. Buy a gift for your dad. We could say, gli compri un regalo. buy a gift for him. See how in both cases it's before the conjugated verb. Lui dà il libro a Maria. He gives the book to Maria. Le dà il libro. He gives the book to her. Indirect object pronoun before the conjugated verb. Here's a few more examples. Ci danno qualche cibo. Are they giving us some food? The us before the conjugated verb. Ti telefonerò domani. I will call you tomorrow. Ti prior to the verb. Vi parliamo. We are speaking to you all. Noi ti manderò niente. I will not send you anything. Le spiego I preposizioni. I am explaining the prepositions to her. Here we got ci, ti, vi, ti, and le. All before the verbs. Now let's look at a couple of instances when the indirect object pronoun is being attached to the end of an infinitive. There are many instances where we have an infinitive verb in our phrases, such as when we use modal verbs like volere, dovere, or potere, and also in various subjunctive clauses where the subject is the same in both clauses. For instance, our first example is vuole parlarci. He wants to speak to us. Spero di spiegarti perché non sono a casa. I hope to explain to you why I am not home. And finally, devi darmi quello. You have the right to give me that. Or you have to give me that, excuse me. So 3 simple examples of how the indirect object pronoun could be attached to the end of an infinitive verb. In addition, a third method for the weak is attaching it to a conjugated verb. The weak form of the indirect object pronoun is attached to the end of a conjugated verb that is used in the imperative tense. Here are a few examples. Parlami, speak to me. Telefonagli, call him. Spiegaci, explain to us. On all of these, you can see that they're conjugated. And the indirect object pronoun is simply attached directly to the end of the conjugated verb. And finally, let's take a real quick look at the strong form of the indirect object pronoun, which can be used to add emphasis to that indirect object, or can be used for stylistic reasons. First of all, parleranno a me. They will talk to me. Very, very simple. All you have to do is put the preposition and the strong form of the indirect object pronoun. Offri un caffè a loro. Offer them a coffee. Voglio dare questo libro a te. I want to give the book to you. You know, a little bit of input I want to put in here is when you use a strong form of the indirect object pronoun, it does put emphasis on that indirect object pronoun. Oftentimes it's used in cases of contrast. He bought the book for me, not you, in situations such as that. Okay, there we have it. Grazie mille, the indirect object pronoun in Italian. I'd like to encourage you to investigate more. We have more information, particularly on this topic, as well as others, always free, at www.iltavoloitaliano.com, where all of our online information is always free. I greatly encourage you to go there, check us out, see what else you can find. We have online exercises, printable exercises, that'll help you in your pursuit of learning how to use the Italian indirect object pronoun. Grazie mille, ciao, e parla italiano.